Hi, everybody. Today's words to live by are: your value does not lie in your ability to tolerate mistreatment. And that's the quote, that's the takeaway for today. And it's by Dr. Jordan Peterson. But I'm going to continue into a little bit of a longer passage because I can tell you that what I'm about to say for the next 3 or 4 minutes was life changing for me to understand narcissism and specifically being a target of narcissistic abuse. So, for those that this applies to, I'm going to continue and finish reading the passage. Your value does not lie in your ability to tolerate mistreatment. Check. A narcissist will try and convince you otherwise because their power depends on your compliance. And the moment you stop believing those things, they lose control. And this is the shift that must happen. That and to disengage entirely. Detachment is the most powerful weapon, not kindness, not logic, and not more attempts at understanding them. So I would like to take this from a little bit more faith-based approach. Okay, so I'm sort of armed with two things right here. So I'm using my phone over here. But there's a quote from Scripture, from Proverbs, that says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. So really what I think a lot of people who are empaths, especially, they sort of balance this difficulty with being kind and protecting their soul, and this tug of war, where the urge to be kind, and it's something that comes natural to a lot of people. And when you become kind with a narcissist, it doesn't make any difference. And in fact, it's just a green light to gaslight and to do manipulation tactics and rewrite history and all of these things that they are said to do. And I can tell you from experience that that's true. Decades worth of experience that I didn't know until I was lucky enough to spend some time with several doctors in my early 40s. I had no idea that that's what I had been around for many, many years. And so I think it's this detachment from someone or something harmful is what a lot of empaths struggle with. I know it's something that I struggled with because it felt like I was quitting on somebody, when in reality, God never asks us to sort of stay in the line of fire. And so if you take even a faith-based approach, there's scripture to sort of guide us towards protecting our heart, protecting our soul. A caveat here, I'm not a doctor. I have written an entire book about this topic, and I've got all kinds of disclaimers. This isn't medical advice, et cetera, et cetera. But I do know from experience and from having worked with a team of doctors. And the other thing that I'll never forget is I had a new PCP that I got in my 40s, and we were going through my family history dating back decades, etc. And some of the people that I hung around with and the circles that I was running in, and he just looked at me and was like, so you've been told this before, you've been a target of narcissistic abuse for a long time. And I was like, I know, but I didn't know that when I was going through it. And so his eyes kind of, got real big. But listen, I lived to talk about it and tell about it. And I did put this in my latest book, that I think that one of the challenges in our society today is just the tendency towards narcissism. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, probably too long to go into with this reflection, but I'm certainly happy to cover this a different time. But all I can say is that enforcing boundaries does not make you heartless. Standing firm does not make you cruel. And so the person without your best interests will try and convince you otherwise. And so don't go for it. And it's in scripture to tell you, don't go for it. So I hope this is helpful to somebody out there. And if it is, please like and or subscribe. And I will see you again soon, probably with the next topic being a little bit lighter. So take care.